What's up, YouTube? Night's Edge here again. Got another little quick review for you. A little unusual for me to do a fixed blade on the channel. Matter of fact, I don't know if I've ever done one on the channel other than unboxing this one and another one that Mr. Eddie sent. But this is Mr. Eddie, MEK, Mr. Eddie Knives. You can check him out on Instagram. He's going to be linked down below. He's definitely a friend of the channel. He's helped a lot of the provide a lot of the content I've got on folding knives, and this is one of the fixed blades he designs. So if you want a pretty decent fixed blade, I'd say really good, get a hold of him. So I was just going to go ahead and do like an overview of it, size comparison, all that. So we'll go ahead and get out the old tape measure here. Let's see, overall length on this thing from the tip of the blade to the end of the handle, 8.5 inches, pretty decent size little fixed blade. Now blade length, you're looking, if you go all the way back to the handle here, you're looking right at 4 1/8. On your cutting edge, I'd say right at 4 inches. If you go right to where that little sharpening tool you put in begins at. Get the calibers out here. Blade stock thickness, you got 152 thousandths. And where the edge begins, make sure I'm on the right spot there, 42 thousandths right there. And handle thickness on this one, handle thickness almost an inch in diameter of the handle right there, just under an inch. So pretty thick, robust handle. I think I don't know what Mr. Eddie's going to end up naming this one, or he does a lot of different designs, a lot of different stuff. I believe it was Delaney, I think, on the live stream last Saturday that suggested the Fat Boy. I guess just because it's so broad and it's got such a thick handle. So I don't know, that's up to Mr. Eddie what he's going to name it, I guess, but that's pretty cool. We'll go ahead and get a weight on it here. Get the old scale out. Nine ounces. Pretty good for a little fixed blade, I think. Heavier than your average pocket knife, but you can't really, you can't really compare. You're comparing apples and oranges, right? So two different things totally right there. There's the blue jeans on it, right? So it's a fixed blade. Doesn't have a clip. Get out some, well, let me see if I can. All right, Paramilitary 2 Spyderco up next to it. Pair of 3 up next to it, right? Larger than both, although not too overall larger, right, than the Paramilitary 2. You got the Doug Ritter Hogue RSK MK1 and the Hogue Deca up next to it. And Cold Steel 8010, pretty robust knife, so you can get a pretty good idea of the size of it there. Pretty broad knife too, which I really like that. That's a preference thing, I guess, but I really like that broad blade on there. And here's a little fixed blade I got. One of the few smaller fixed blades I have. This is a CRKT Spew, a little small neck fixed blade, neck knife. Passable as a neck knife anyway, but yeah, definitely larger than that. So pick that up. No hardware check, right? It's a fixed blade, so no hardware. These are I think bolstered in, maybe, what do you call it? Nice smooth handle there, kind of like a bowling ball type finish, I guess you would say. Definitely full tang, definitely a strong handle. Handle fully engaged with the blade because it's all one piece of metal, right? I like this particular color, this brown kind of transcending into like a golden color. That's pretty neat. He's got a lot of neat handle material that he does. Everything from, dark green, sky blue, fire, red, white, and blue, all kinds of stuff. And I really like the finish on this one too. This is I like a satin finish, I guess. But it is pretty reflective, you know. It is not a complete mirror, you know, but it's pretty close, I think. I like the addition of that little sharpening choil right there. That helps too for, you know, for people that use and sharpen their knives a lot, which, you know, I'm definitely one of them. And this thing, it will definitely, even though it's a big old chunking fixed blade, it'll definitely cut. I'll get the paper out here. Right, so it'll definitely slice through some paper. Probably would help if I held the paper at the right angle and didn't catch the sharpening choil every time. But yeah, it'll definitely cut. And I've cut through some stuff. That's why it's not, you know, 100% like a laser beam or anything. But you could trim that thing up, you know, and put whatever angle you want on it. Now, from everything I've seen and read and heard and all that, and it makes sense to me as a fixed blade. It's more preferable to have a you know, like a steeper angle on it, you know, like it lasts longer. It's not quite as slicey, but it takes impact harder and stuff like that. So that is one thing to keep in mind, especially when doing, you know, the paper cut test. But it does have a pretty good edge that came with it. I haven't sharpened this at all. That's the edge that Mr. Eddie put on there. You know, does a pretty good job, I think. It looks to me like he does. So this is a really, really nice blade shape. Good for a lot of different stuff. Skinning, you know, you could use it for that. You know, whittling wood, you know, any kind of camping, bushcraft type of stuff. Pretty sturdy knife. So that's pretty much it. This is, you know, like one of the first ones he did, I think, you know, kind of like a prototype or whatever. He just sent along for me to take a look at. So I'm sure by the time, you know, if you want to order one from him, if you want to get a hold of him, he'll be linked down below, Mr. Eddie _411 on Instagram. You know, he does have a logo now. He's got a pretty cool looking little logo on a lot of the ones that he's putting out now. And he's just getting better and better, you know. And this one to me is, you know, I mean, being for like, you know, one of his earlier ones, I think that's pretty damn good, right? So, but yeah, check him out. Does some pretty cool work, pretty nice work. That is the Mr. Eddie Knives. We're gonna call it the Fat Boy for now. So yeah, definitely check him out on Instagram. Appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate Mr. Eddie for sending this one along to look at. And until next time, whenever you're watching this, hope you have a good afternoon, evening, morning, night, whatever. And I'll see you guys on the next one.